Hi, Intermediate Algebra students. Welcome to week 5 of Intermediate Algebra. This week you have 3 things you need to accomplish as far as your learning. You need to first complete 5.2, the lesson for 5.2, which is what we're watching right now. And then there's another video for 5.3. Both of those videos have examples that you need to enter into Schoology assignments that are labeled 5.2 and 5.3. And then the last thing you're going to do is do the quiz for the week, which is 5.5. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So this should not be anything new. It's just combining a lot of things that we've learned in the last few weeks all together. So it's actually going to be a really good experience because we are relearning some of the stuff we've already learned and also adding to it. So challenge and review all at the same time. Notice I'm on 5.2. So you need to be split screening this video with your PDF and Notability or doing these problems on paper. If you don't learn everything, you don't feel real confident about it after the end of the video, that's okay. We can work together, contact me, and I can set up some tutoring with you. Remember, we'll also be doing these assignments together on Wednesday at 2 p.m. So come on by, ask questions, or just watch me redo the questions. All right, so what's crazy about these questions is that you'll notice they have groups of X's and 1's on both sides, which is something we learned about last week. But on top of that, we have more than one type of group on each side also. So remember the strategy from last week where we said we were going to highlight the numbers and the X's in different colors, and then that way we wouldn't lose track of what's positive and what's negative, because you always want to highlight the symbol to the left of the number. All right, so if you have two groups of the same color, like terms, on the same side, you are going to add them together. You're going to regroup so that everything's all together and very handy. Is this the only way to do it? No. Is it the way I'm going to do it? Yeah. All right, so first I'm going to do 11 plus negative 25. You always add. And so we got negative 14, and that's a group of 1s, so we don't need to put the X next to it. Let's do our next one. Now we also have a group of X's on the left-hand side. Now you do not combine those X's with the X's that are on the right-hand side of the equal sign, because those X's on the other side, we need to combine by canceling. We'll get there. We're combining on the same side first. All right, remember, if you have a naked X, put some clothes on that X. Don't let this X stand out there. It's getting cold outside. So we got a negative 1 and a positive 7. So we're going to go negative 1 plus 7. Oops, see, this is a good mistake to see. Make sure you clear first. So negative 1 plus 7, and we get 6 X's. And then we have a group of 31s over there also. All right, so now I'm going to re-highlight. And I won't always re-highlight every single time. You can. I'm just gonna, do it really well for the first example, and then feel free to use that strategy as you go through. All right, so now it looks like the examples from last week, the variables on both sides, for which I have a song, and so I'm going to sing it as we go through. Sorry, I'm cringy. It's just the way it is. All right, so first part of the song goes, first you cancel the X's on the right, on the right. So we're going to do that. Minus 6x, minus 6x. Remember, to cancel means to make 0. So technically we added these two things together. It makes 0, but we don't write 0 because 0 is nothing. We don't need to write it. All right, so then remember to add top to bottom. The 14 didn't add anything to it. 10 plus negative 6, you can put that into your calculator if you would like. And then over here on the right-hand side, we didn't do anything with the 30, so we just rewrite it. You could put a plus in front of the 30 if you wanted to, but you don't need to, because we know that if nothing's in front, then it's assumed that it's positive. Next step. Then you cancel the numbers on the left, on the left. So we're going to do that. We're going to add 14 to both sides. that makes 0 with the ones on the left, the numbers on the left. That makes that 0. So over here we have 4x, and then adding top to bottom, we know this is 44 over here. All right, last part of the song. Let's divide by the number that's in front of the x. So we're going to do that. Divide by 4, divide by 4. That stuff becomes 1, right? We divide to figure out how many ones are in each single group of x's. So we have x and divide top to bottom, so it looks like this. 44 divided by 4, 11. And that's our final answer. All right, go ahead and pause, go back, redo it, re-listen to it, send me an email, whatever you need to do, but I'm going to move on. This one's pretty much the same, except for you're going to notice that we have 2 groups of x's on the left this time, and we have 2 groups of 1s on the right hand this side. Not really that much different. I'm going to go a little faster through this. So 17 and -7 added together gives us 10 x's. And then we didn't do anything with the 25 ones on the left, so we just rewrite it. 35 and positive 80, positive 35 and positive 80 gives us 115 ones. And then we didn't do anything with the positive 5 x's, so we just rewrite it. All right. Now, I'm not going to re-highlight, but if you want to, you can. I'm going to sing my song, though. Better believe I'm singing my song. Okay. So, first you cancel the x's on the right, on the right. So I find the group of x's that's on the right. I see that it's a group of positive 5 x's. And I'm going to add top to bottom. I know that makes 0. Notice that I did not put this over here. That's because I can't add ones with x's. They're different. We're actually trying to separate the x's on one side and the numbers on the other side so I can figure out how many ones are equal to how many x's. So let's keep going here. We're adding top to bottom. 10 plus -5 is 5x. We didn't do anything with this 25. We didn't do anything with that 115. And when we did 5x and -5x added together, we got 0. So we don't write anything. All right. Then you cancel the numbers on the left, on the left. So we are going to add -25, -25, add together. We only have the 5x left on the left. And then when we subtract here, top to bottom, right, we're adding. I shouldn't have said subtract. Subtraction could work here, but 115 plus -25 is 90. And here's your favorite part of the song, because I'm not very good at singing it. Let's divide by the number that's in front of the x. So we're going to divide by 5. Then that tells us that x is equal to, dividing top to bottom, we're going to get 18. All right, again, feel free to stop and pause the video, go back, re-look at that. But the expectation right now is that you're going to pause the video and look at these 2 examples, 1 and 2. Do them on your own, and then you're going to put your answers into the Schoology quiz labeled 5.2. That way you'll know if you're right or wrong. We'll go over that at the end of the video. Okay, so ignore that right now. Remember, last week we talked about what to do when you see parentheses. And so my strategy was highlight them in purple. That way you can focus on just that one thing you need to do before you solve the rest of the equation. So that stuff that's highlighted in purple, that is rewritten up here. It's this purple thing up here now. And what I did is I put a 1 in front of the parenthesis and then also a 1 in front of the x. Those are secret ones that need to be put there to help us understand what's going on. So the first thing we're going to multiply through is the -1 times the -1x. So on your calculator, you do -1 times 1. And then we're so smart, we know that the x is still there, so we rewrite it. Now, this can be a little tricky because we know that this negative goes with the 4 and this negative goes with the 1. So when we multiply, we need to make sure we're doing -1 times -4, which gives us +4. No x's involved at all. All right, so you only multiply times the things inside of the parentheses, and then we didn't do anything with that positive 2x, so we just rewrite it. The right-hand side of the equation has been snoring this whole time. Just rewrite it, let it sleep for a second. All right, we're going to go through now, and we're going to highlight our groups of ones and our groups of x's again. So group of ones, that's a group of ones. Notice I only highlight the symbol that is to the left of the group. I do not highlight the symbol that is to the right of the group because it does not belong to it. Only things to the left belong to the number. Okay. Let's do regrouping, right? So we have two groups of x's that are on the same side. We're going to combine those like terms. So we have -1 plus 2. That gives us a positive 1x. If you don't believe me, you check it on your calculator. All right, and then we have one group of ones, so we're just going to rewrite it. And again, this right side of the equal sign is just chilling. It is asleep still. So let's let it sleep for a second. Uh-oh, here we go. Now's our chance. So we're at the point where you can see there's a group of x's on the left, a group of x's on the right. There's also a group of ones on the right and a group of ones on the left. So trigger in your brain my terrible singing voice singing this song for you. First you cancel the x's on the right, on the right. Just occurred to me that maybe when I am pointing, the video makes it go the other way. So I apologize if that's happening. Remember, you always add top to bottom and always add the x's to each other. Do not try to add the x's and the ones together. All right, so on your calculator, 1 plus -3 is going to make -2x's. We didn't do anything with those groups, with the group of 4 ones, and we didn't do anything with the group of 18 ones. Then you cancel the numbers on the left, on the left. So the numbers, another way to say that is the ones. So we're going to cancel the group of ones on the left and always add top to bottom. So -2x is equal to 14. Don't trust me? Do it on your calculator. Last divide by the number that's in front of the x. So we're dividing by -2. That's going to tell us how big each group of ones is to go with each x. That's what division is. It's telling you, hey, divide this up equally so that I know how many is worth each one. So x equals -7. Remember, divide top to bottom. Okay, there's one more example from me, and let me tell you, it is a doozy. We're going to go a little faster through this example here. So feel free to pause it, go back, but we're going to bust through this. All right, so the first step, when we see parentheses, we always highlight in purple, and we always distribute, which means multiply, through the parentheses. First, distributing, 3 times 2x, that's 6x. 3 times 8, the 8 is positive, and the 3 is positive, so we get 24. All right, keep going. 5 times 2x, 5 times 2 is 10. Keep the x. Notice this 8 is negative, right? So 5 times -8 is -40, and then we didn't do anything with the 4x because it's not in the parentheses. Now I'm going to go through, I'm going to highlight my groups of ones, I'm going to highlight my groups of x's. All right, so the group of two groups of the same color on the same side means add them together. We're not doing anything on this side because we don't have anything to combine. Remember, always add, so this would be 14x minus 40. Now we're going to sing our song. So you cancel the x's on the right, minus 14x's, minus 14x's. Remember to always add top to bottom. 6 minus 14 is -8x plus 24. We didn't do anything with that. And then don't forget, this negative goes with the 40, so it's got to come down with it. Then you cancel the numbers on the left, So we're going to go minus 24, minus 24. Remember, you always are going to add top to bottom. This cancels out. We get -8x is equal to, and that would be -64. Last divide by the number that's in front of the x. So divide by the -8, and x is equal to, when you divide top to bottom, you get +8. All right, that was quick. We're out of time. Good luck.